Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome to Shapez 2. This is a very cool game, very impressive. The developer sent me the key, so thank you very much to the dev. I played around with it and I thought I'd just start it up, see what it looks like, because I saw Shapez 1 a long time ago and didn't really get into it too much. So I thought I'd just have a quick look and then lost 12 hours. So yeah, it's pretty fun, it's pretty involved, so let's get stuck in. So, as you can see on the screen, it is a factory game, and it is amazing. You can build huge factories, multi-level factories, min-max your layouts, and you'll just have huge amounts of fun optimizing production lines and perfecting your automation. So we're going to play a game. Let's play. It's my test game. I played 12 hours. I'm going to start a new game for this YouTube series. Search to YouTube. We're going to go normal, operator certification I'll leave on. It's a bit of a training thing, but it gives you a start and it shows you the basics on how to get your factory set up and what little machines you have available. So we'll use that and we'll play. Okay, so welcome to your certification. Thank you for signing up. Either way, the Vortex requires you to evaluate blah blah blah. Not important. For this, we are basically making sure that we do upgrades and we get everything. I will strive, I will not damage any buildings. And continue. So we start with a platform. And in the middle of the platform is the vortex that must be fed. And on each side we have various shapes. Now these are the shapes. Here we have a circle that's split into 4. On this side we have a square split into 4. Circles over here, squares over here. We have all these little entrance points into this platform, which we'll be able to use. And once we get there, we'll have entrance points into the vortex where we need to throw the required shapes. So the first thing that I need to do, and they're guiding me here, is to put extractors onto this mining platform. So basically just going to drag it over, and then we're going to take a belt. Okay, they're going to show us how to do it. I'm not interested. Okay, we're going to take that right across, bring it up here, and now we can anchor as well by pressing C, and boom. Now we can bring that across to there. Right, so that's the first one. Use belts to deliver shapes to the vortex. We can bring that straight into the vortex, and then we just got to let it run. And as these shapes are pulled out, they'll go into this belt and they'll get thrown into the vortex, and it will count up what we're doing, basically. So that's the very basics. Grab the shape, put it on a belt, chuck it into the vortex. Trick is, this is going to be an input to other processes that we're going to have to build out, and there are tools for that which we will get to shortly. And our shapes start going straight into the vortex. All right, so while that's happening, let's have a look around. So we have these shape miners, and the shape miners will mine the shapes on these rocks. So if we look around the map, which is extensive, very extensive, we will see that there are other shapes around. So there's more squares over here. There's a 3/4 circle. There's some blue stuff over here. There's other shapes with different colors. We've got a quarter gray with 3/4 red circle, and more stuff over here. You'll see there's a green, there's blue, there's red, there's all sorts of different things going on. That's because we'll be able to color, and there are fluids and there are trains, and wow, it is extensive. So let's have see where we are with this. I'm not sure what the target was, but let's go to the knowledge panel, and this is where you can see everything. Basically, this is your in-game wiki that explains all sorts of things, and the explanations are really pretty good. Place 3 half destroyers to cut shapes into halves, and it will give you a little guide on how to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this cutter, it's a half destroyer, and we're going to put 3 of them in like that. And we're going to take our belts, yes, and we'll bring the belts up, and then we'll bring the belts back. Belts travel in the direction that you create them. So if you put belts down, so if I grab a belt and I put some belts down, you'll see that they work like that. You can drag them and you can if you want to change the way the corner works, you can anchor that point and then go there and anchor that point and then bring it back. So yeah, if you want to delete, you can right click, or you can shift right click like that and delete a whole bunch of stuff. But in the meantime, all right, let's have a look at these cutters. Now, every type of machine that you have has a buildings per full belt. So you need 3 of these cutters to do a full belt, and that is at the current level of the belt and the current level of the cutter, because these can all be upgraded. You also have 20 shapes per minute, which is, we are basically getting 60 shapes per minute from our line, a full line. This full line holds 60 per minute. Each cutter handles 20 per minute, so you need 3 of them, and that gives us 100% efficiency. So we did achieve a milestone, and now we need to extract the squares. So we'll go and do something over on this side. Take an extractor, put it in, grab a belt, take it across to there. I want to anchor it there, pull it through there, jump it over there, and just throw it straight in so that we can achieve that milestone of 10 squares. Now, it's very easy at the moment, but now they're telling us they want us to rotate and cut again. So, take the rotator. Because of the way this cuts, it cuts kind of a north-south. If you're going across it, consider that west to east that it's traveling in, so the line will be north-south cut. So in order to cut it again, we're going to have to rotate it once. The rotators, let's put them over here. They will rotate each one. But now you'll notice the rotators only need 2 per full belt. The 30, they do 30 per minute, but because of the way they're telling us to set this up, they're not going to be 100% efficient, but that's fine. We take cutters, put cutters in. Okay, and then we've got to feed them into the vortex. Buy the belts, drag the belts down, and boom, there we go. So now we've got quarters. Now, the vortex doesn't care the orientation that they come in at, so we could rotate this again, and it wouldn't matter as long as the basic shape is there. So that's what we've got. Okay, and that's going to start counting. So now we have to do a similar thing on this side. We need to put 3 cutters, put our bolts in, and that will deliver the 40. Now you can see they're coming through like this, which is not the same orientation as what they're asking for. The vortex doesn't care once again. So we'll let that pass. And these have started going into the vortex now, so that's good. And we are almost finished with the quarter circle. Okay, shape goal has been completed. Good. All right, now we are continuing throwing these in even though we don't need them, but that is fine. We have infinite resources from these shape miners. So now we have unlocked milestones. And if we go into milestones, these are pretty important. First of all, they want full circles. We've done that. We basically unlocked the rotate and cut. Now we're going to be unlocking the stacker and the second floor. Okay, so now we have the ability to have stacked conveyors. In order to continue with our milestone progression, we need to complete these shapes, which is exactly what we're going to do. We also have tasks, which fall in line with what we're basically going to do. So we're going to put 2 circles on top of each other. Then we're going to cut those circles in half. Then we're going to quarter them, and then we're going to put 2 quarters together. Okay, and the amounts required are pretty big. And you don't have to do one at a time. You can do many, and you can pin those recipes if you like. So we will do that. And we will get to the milestone progression shortly. Now with milestone progression, you get research points. So once you finish tasks, once you finish milestones, you get research points, and you can use those research points in the store, and you can go and unlock faster belts, faster cutting, faster stacking, and lots of other things. Lots. So first things first, let's just sort this one out. I'm going to rotate these, and then we're going to cut them again, and we'll belt them in. And that will give us our quarter square. And then we can come over here because now we're going to be working with circles. So our milestone, we need the square on top of the circle. But in the meantime, we have circles coming out. Let's shift right click and just delete all of that. And you're going to be doing a fair bit of deleting. And then we'll get some more extractors. And we'll put them over here. Grab a belt and bring that over to there. And now we've got the ability to build stackers. The way stackers work is you would put your stacker in, and then we just have a look. Now, a full belt, you need 6 stackers to be able to handle a full belt because they do 10 per minute each. So we'll take more stackers and we'll put 6 in because we're going to be doing a full belt and we've got 2 full belts, so that's good. So we're going to run this belt at ground level across the front of it. Then we're going to take this belt and we are going to press E to go up and go along the front of it, just like that. And Q to go back down to ground level. Now we have stacks and we have 2 items going in. Why is this one not built? Oh, it is. All right. So now we have a circle being put on top of a circle. I need to remove this piece of belt, and then we can bring a belt from here and into there, just like that. And we can start addressing this pin task. We can also do the same on the other side. And for that, I'm going to grab a couple more extractors, put those in there and those in there, grab belts, put that there, and drop that in there. We're going to go across, then I'm going to grab the stackers, 6 of those in, bring our belt through, take this one, press E, go up into that, Q to go back down, and drop those in. So now we have these 2 tasks being worked on. Our milestone progression, we still need to have squares with a circle on top. So what I may need to do here, because look, machines are free, so you can build as many as you like, you can delete them. It's just fun and relaxing. Bring this belt through, and what I will do then is I'm going to break this belt over here, and I'm going to take this one down this way. Let's see if it'll allow me to do that. Yep. Okay, so I've replaced that. I have access to more circles over here, and we can bring this down, and we'll take that one up this way, and we will meet halfway. Well, we won't. I think I'll bring... Okay, what did we finish? We finished the quarters. Now we're going to need to stack the 2 quarters. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. You could split this belt and take one to the top and one to the bottom of a setup like this. That's not really efficient. It's also not really a problem because we have more squares on this side that we can farm. So maybe that's what we'll do. We'll set that up on this side. Let these just carry on doing their thing. And but at the moment, I'm focusing on getting the circle on top of the square thing done. So we'll bring the squares down. We'll bring the circles up. And then we'll do a stacker. And now this is where it becomes a little important that you focus on what's where, because you need to have the correct belts on top. The things at the top are stacked on top of the things at the bottom. Essentially, if I had to put the squares on top, the squares would be on top of the circles. And that's not the shape that they want. They want the circles on top of the squares. So you just got to make sure that your circles are on the top shelf. And then we can just belt this into there. Great. So now that's being taken care of. The circles on circles task, pin task is done. We're almost finished with a square on square. So we can go to shapes, and this allows us to unlock that, which now allows us to do another shape. And that shape is based on this shape. So all we need to do is put 3 cutters in. And there you go. Now we're working on this pin task. And as we finish that, we unlock this, and basically the same thing on the other side. Now this is all very easy because, you know, it's the beginning. Grab that, throw that belt in there, and now we are attacking this milestone, these tasks. In the meantime, we need square on quarter square. Ideally, it would be nice if we weren't wasting. So if we went into our upgrades, there are these cutters that allow us to cut things without losing them, but we are going to waste some squares, so not much we can do about that right now. So I'll get the extractors, put extractors there and there, conveyor line them in. And there they are, right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut both twice. So I'm going to need cutters. I think I'll start the cutters. I'll give space for these other two belts to come out. 3 cutters there and 3 cutters there, and then rotators, and then cutters again. And then we are going to need stackers. So let's plug these all in. And that can go, and I'm going to let that go to there and then press E and go up. So we're looking at that, and then we can put our stackers in. It's really insisting that I unlock upgrades. I don't really want to though. Anyway, all right, well, let's get our stackers in over here. We need 6 of them. Got those in. Put the bottom ones on, top ones on, and outputs just like that. And if we go down, well, there you go. We have the little square on top of the little square, and I put this belt in incorrectly. So I will just shift and delete that. Make sure that I'm at the lower level. There we go. So now those will be going in. All right. Yep, those are counting up now. We're getting very close to finishing this milestone and a few others. So we're going to let that run. It really wants me to do an upgrade. I really don't want to, because if I did any one of these upgrades, it would use up all my points. But I could just upgrade the belt. If I go upgrade conveyor belt, it's basically adding 50% on. So from 60 to 90 per minute. There, now it'll keep quiet and leave me alone. Right, we have another task to do. We need to cut up the circle and square. Now you see, this is where I made a little hash up, because this all set up here should have been further this way, so I had space. So what I'll do is I'm going to move this all the way down here, and you can't physically move it, but you can shift, left click, copy. I need to unlock blueprints first. All right, so, well, this is finished now, so we'll unlock that, and then that's the next one. That's fine. Oh my word, things are finishing so quickly. Now you don't have to rush. I mean, there's no rush in this game. You're not losing anything. But at the moment, I don't have blueprints unlocked. Where are blueprints? Blueprints are under milestones, and I have to finish these milestones before I get to this blueprints milestone, or those tasks. So that's what we'll do. But I'm going to have to move this because now I've made it too close to the vortex. I'm going to cut that belt off. I will bring this all the way down. We're going to grab the squares belt. We'll bring it through to there. And then I'm going to bring this one, and I'm going to bring it up. And bring it across to there. Up 6. Grab the stacker. Back at ground level. Those are being done now. Good. And now I need to take this belt out, and I have to split them. So I will take the cutter. I didn't need that last one. I will belt this into there and this into there. And that will give us our halves that they're looking for. That means that I can come in here and just delete this lot and drop that in there. There we go. Now that's given me space for the next setup that we're going to need. We're going to need to cut that in half again. Right, and in the meantime, this one is finished. You can see from the red crosses that those are not really required at the moment. So we do need to do quarters, which means that I need to do that. Rotate and cut again and throw the belt in over there. And now these are moving. Good. Okay, so here's a little bit more of a complicated one. It's half a circle, half a square with square on top of the half square. So we are going to be making half squares with a square on top already. So now we just need that because it's not actually required by the vortex anymore. So we can cut this belt. And we have more circles up here. So we could make a little factory around this area, making this shape. So let's do that. Extractors in. And we're going to take this a little bit further away. Let's see, we need to split the circle and we may need to rotate it as well. So that's the cutter. Okay, what orientation have we got here? Yep, this needs to turn 180. So we're going to grab, rotate and rotate. And now we have the half circle portion. So we can grab our belts, just connect these up, bring this down, and then we'll bring this across. And now because these two shapes are going next to each other, it doesn't really matter what's on top. So I'll raise this one, I'll bring that over. I hope I did enough. We'll get the stackers. Go back down to ground level. One more belt in over here. All right. And that will start making these shapes. And we can then grab a belt, bring this over and just throw those into there. Right. So that's what's needed. And then over here, let's see, what is, where have we got red crosses now with squares? Okay, here, yeah, this is a little different. All right, so for this one, we can just readjust this. We actually don't need these to stack. So what I will do here is, so I should be doing that. Okay, so we're deleting that. Now we've got the two halves coming out. What we need to do here is rotate this one twice. So it'll be in the correct orientation. Can bring this one down and maybe bring it across. We'll bring this one here. I hope I can pick up that last. I don't think I can. All right, so I'm gonna have to move something over here to make sure that I get this last belt in, which means I need to delete that. This will come in over here and then go up at that point. And then out 6 because we want 6 splitters. Go back down to ground level. I mean 6 stackers, sorry. We'll put the stackers in. This one needs to come up. All right. Come up. Put that in there. Go back down. And that is making what we want. So you can see the preview. Once you've got belts connected, you can see the preview of what you're getting. And then I'll bring this across and into that belt. And that will be taking on that. Perfect. Pin tasks are going well. Everything else is running. It's all being set up. The next thing that's going to finish is that. And I believe we need to split that once it's done. And that is this one. So if we have a look, this is a milestone. If we go into the milestones, yep, the next one's going to be that one split. So we're busy working on this. The next milestone thing will be that. Once that's done, then we can unlock blueprints, which will allow us to copy and paste our little factory bits. All right, pin tasks are done. Let's unlock that. It's given us some more points. Awesome. And we've finished something else now. Okay, so this is the one now that we need to split. So I think we're going to have to rotate it first. And then split and connect those into there. And that will address that one. So that's pretty straightforward. Everything else is being worked on. And this one, yeah, there's a new task. This will be the same as what we did with these squares, except we're taking shapes that are already being built. Circle on circle. Yep. And then we're going to have to pull these out. So it's going to be a little slower doing it this way. but I'm going to send this out this way. I'm going to split this belt to go out that way. I'm going to put a rotator. Oh, not like that. Nope. Now we're going to rotate half of these, and we're going to have to rotate them twice. So I've done this completely wrong. Rotate, rotate, belt in, belt out. Bring that down. We're going to go up a level here. No, I didn't want to. Yeah, like that. 6 over. Go back down. Bring these in. Now bring our stackers. Now bear in mind, these little factories, these are not permanent. They're tasks and for milestones. Once we get to the operator levels, then we're going to be building permanent factories to keep advancing certain complex shapes. So I'm not concerned about the layout here because most of the stuff is going to get broken down and rebuilt to perform other tasks. I can bring this across, drop that in there, and yep, those ones are now being addressed. All right, so now I've just got to wait for something to finish. In the meantime, I do have these points. Oh, I can unlock that. That's more points. And that has given us another complex shape, which is half circle on top of half circle, half square on top of half square stacked together. All right, so we have most of that set up already over here. We just have to add another half circle on top of this half circle. So just to make sure that it's somewhat efficient, I drag a belt to there and across to here. I'm going to make sure that I put extractors in over here, rotate them the correct way. And I'm going to do exactly what I did over here, and I don't have blueprints unlocked yet. That's under the milestones, and we should be getting close to that. Yeah, we're getting really close to unlocking blueprints. I would use a blueprint here, but all right, we don't really need to. What I need is a belt going this way. I'll take my cutter, put that in there, rotate. I'm going to rotate again. And then I'm going to bring a belt out over here. And at this point, I will go up, over, and across, just like that. No, that's absolutely wrong. No, that's 100% right. Ignore me. Go back down to ground level, get our stacker in place. Grab the belt, bring it across to here. We're going to remove that belt. We don't need that anymore. And there we go. There's our half circle on top of a half circle. And that's going to come into this, which is going to put a half circle on next to a square, and that will address this one. So you can, as you can see, the shapes become more complex, but they're not difficult. It's a puzzle. But what I'd like to do is get the blueprints done in this episode. Right, let's have a look at the upgrades. I did say I wanted to get this cutter because then you can take one line of things and cut them. And also the swapper is nice, but we actually, I don't know if the cutter is hell of a necessary right now. Maybe just upgrade so that things go a little faster. Because right now the belts are running faster than the cutters. So to keep things efficient, let's upgrade those two. We've still got 4 points. And there are a few things we could do if we wanted to. I don't need any of them right now. As you can see, they do get quite expensive, but we'll get to them. Tasks, we are going well. And yeah, we'll take on these eventually. You can have as many tasks queued up as you like and as many factories as you like to do them. And I forgot to put a belt in over here, and I haven't left space for these ones to come out. So, well, this factory is not going to be here for very long, so that's fine. I noticed that this wasn't working because I wasn't getting a full belt through here. And yeah, as it turns out, there is no four-way. Obviously, yeah, this is when you put a junction, it splits or merges. There is no four-way. So as a result, I'm not getting a full belt of these because I didn't leave a space for anything to get to this middle section. So I'm losing out. That's something just to bear in mind. And I will remember it in future. In fact, what I probably should have done is remove this row and put this rotator over here and then tied them back in just like that. That should solve the problem. Now you could balance things to make sure that the input is good, but using a manifold system in this game is fine. I mean, you really don't need to balance your inputs. They'll eventually fill up and they'll keep going, and you'll have a full belt. As long as you have enough machines to process. Right now, I've got too many of these rotators because I only need 2 for a belt, but because we're pulling them straight through on the cutters, that's sort of just how it's working out. And as you can see, we are almost at a full belt over here. Basically, yeah, we're at a full belt. So we've got a full belt coming in top and bottom, and a full belt coming out. Awesome. And we finished one of the milestone goals. So if we head to the milestones, this line is done. We're just waiting for that to finish before we're able to unlock this one, which is blueprints. And then we'll be able to unlock space platforms and so on and so on. And we'll have our operator certification in no time at all. But while we're waiting for these tasks to finish, as you can see, the further you get down the task line, the more research points you receive. So we're going to get basically another 12 on top of what we've got, which will allow us to do other upgrades. So I think for now this is fine. We don't really need to upgrade it anymore. I'm going to run this as a very chilled playthrough. Not going to do anything really crazy or stress myself out. I'd rather you see what the game holds and what you're able to do. And if we zoom out, that's basically what we've got now. It looks like a little factory. And it didn't take us very long to do it. And you know, once we've got blueprints unlocked, we can actually save blueprints, but we can also copy and paste things that we've already got on the ground. And we finished another task. We can unlock that, grab another 6 research points. Fantastic. And that one disappears because it's done. I'm not going to queue up any more right now because the focus right now is getting milestone 2 completed. Another thing to point out is you are working at multi-levels. If you only want to see the bottom level, you can hide the other levels by pressing V so that you can see what's going on underneath, and put them back by pressing V again. There you go. Okay, we finished another task. Can unlock that. More points. We're up to 16 research points, which would allow me to get the cutter. I'd like to get the cutter and swapper at the same time. I need 2 more points. That's not a big deal. I could probably do that now. But these are really, really nice tools to have, and we'll get into how they work. So the last thing we're going for is milestone 2. So we need 720. We are approaching 700. All good. And that is milestone 2 complete. Unlock. And there we go. We have blueprints, which has unlocked some more tasks for us. And it's also unlocked the ability to go for milestone 3. So that sorts that out. So there are a few things that are very similar, but I'm going to basically rip this all out and we'll restart for the next episode, where we will continue towards getting space platforms done so that we can get to the operator over here, operator level, and we can start working on the real factories that make this even more powerful. Once we finish milestone 3, we'll be able to select. Now, if you remember when we started the game, I started on the basic level. This is where you would upgrade your level, and this is also the point at which if you started at factory normal, you would start with whatever is available before these milestones. So what I'm showing here is really just the very basics. But we will get into the blueprints in the next episode, and I think that brings the starter guide to an end. Obviously, there's a lot more. As we had a look around, there are different shapes, there are different colors. There's these strange ones, and those are different colors, and that will allow us to make more complex shapes out of other shapes and advance ourselves to get to the operator level and increase our operator level, get more research points so that we can upgrade even further and get lots more goodies. So if you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. I think I'm going to play this for a while, and I guarantee you, once you get stuck into this game, you will totally enjoy it. The next episode, I'm going to rip all of this stuff out. We're going to start looking at blueprints. We're going to attack the next milestones and the next tasks, which are these, I suppose. just queue them up and we'll expand our factory. So thank you very much to my members, to my subscribers. Thank you very much to everyone who watched. And until next time, cheers.